Shabbat Shalom, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Barasham, Yahweh Barasham, Rachakodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, pushing this 100% truth of the gospel, waking up and sealing the elect of the nation of Israel through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Barasham, Yahweh. And salutations to your sincere Akimada that are pushing this gospel in all righteousness and in all sincerity, risking your lives and your freedom to do so. Right, and the title of this lesson is going to be minimalism or minimalist along those lines, okay? Because that's what I wanted to go into today. Because this is like I said at the beginning of that lesson. This is the Sabbath, because we know that the new moon is a Sabbath, okay? So I'm sitting in my room, just looking at all, you're just sitting in my room and then just meditating, and I realized that I don't really have anything. I don't have much. All right, let me just put it like that, 'cause I'm basically living that minimalist lifestyle. And that's basically how we are all, all the brothers, all the Akiyama in this thing, okay? Because I'm looking and I'm thinking about a tweet that I saw if either a year ago about that whole about that whole minimalist lifestyle, how little it takes for how little of material things it takes for men to be happy. And I'm basically just thinking that we're us that are in this truth are basically living that minimalist lifestyle, mostly by choice because we are not focused on the material things because all we're focused on is this truth. If it doesn't help us in any way to push this word, if it doesn't help us in any way to no to push this truth, then we don't need then we don't need it basically. So they have, I know the other apostle Gaba, let me just mention that also as well, that he did videos concerning the Epicurean and Stoic philosophies, okay, how we should be in this thing Stoic, because Stoicism is basically going into discipline, going into control of your emotions, okay, control of your actions, control of yourself, and control of and control of your desires, okay. How you basically have to have how you have to be a stoic, how you have to have self-control if you want to be in this truth, okay. You can't be an Epicurean, you can't be given to things like hedonism, which of course you should know what that means. So let me get it just in case Akim don't know what the meaning of the word hedonism is. So let me get that. And this is hedonism: the belief that pleasure or happiness is the highest good in life. Some hedonists, such as Epicureans, alright, that was the central focus of Epicureanism. Do whatever you want, that do as thou wilt mindset or mind state. Alright, continue. Having stated that pleasure of the entire mind, not just pleasure of the senses, is the highest good. Or basically, the Stoics are the opposite of that. They believe that moving with logic, alright, which of course I want to actually do a video about that, how the greatest form of logic is the scriptures, how the greatest form of reasoning is from the scriptures. So we believe that moving with the scriptures, moving with the instruction from the Bible is the greatest form of good. That is our mind state, and we also happen to be Stoics in that mind state, alright. But anyway, going back to the whole minimalism matter, let me just get this definition. A minimalist and the definition reads: believing in or seeking a minimal state, seeking to minimize or reduce to a minimum. And the second definition: one who believes in or seeks a minimal state, one who seeks to minimize or reduce to a minimum. And basically, I wanted to do I wanted to clip a video into this full lesson, but I couldn't find a good video concerning this whole, concerning minimalism, because if you actually go into the history of minimalism, it goes back to arts, goes back to music, alright. And that's what we basically went into before they started adopting it into philosophy and lifestyle, wherein you take as little as where you use you focus on what the essentials, on what you need, as opposed to what you want. You try to keep your possessions to a minimum, all right. And that's basically what it means to live a minimalist lifestyle. You only get what you need, and that's basically all what we are in this truth do. That's the lifestyle that we are that we are that we are living. Everything that we have, everything that we only focus on what we need. As the scripture says in the Lord's prayer: give us our daily bread, right? So let me get this precept real quick. Hold on a sec, let me get it real quick. There is Ecclesiasticus 39. It's the first precept that came to my mind when I thought of this whole minimalism matter. All right, Ecclesiasticus 39 verse 26, and it reads: the principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil and clothing. right? And that's all that, that's going into what the essential things, the essentials. And that's basically what minimalism is focused on. Getting the essentials and nothing more. No superfluousness. And let me get that definition as well. Superfluousness. All right. No, getting. And this is this word superfluousness, and it reads, in excess of what is required or sufficient. And that's right. Us that are in this, us that are in this truth, we're only focused on what getting just enough. Not wanting more than enough. Just focused on getting that just enough. Enough for us to get through the day, enough for us to go, enough for us to survive for the day. Like I said, for that daily bread. And that leads me to another precept, and let me go to that. Right, the book of Proverbs 30. I can already know what I want to get. I believe that's verse 8. You already know what I'm going to get. So this is the book of Proverbs 30, verse 7, and it reads, two things have I required of thee. Deny me them not before I die. Remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me. And this is the words of King Solomon. And I bring out this precept a lot. It's going into his desires, because he understood that, that perfect balance, okay, not too rich, not too poor, just right in the middle, having that, being in that middle class thing, that is what that is what is most desirable, which of course, I was just thinking about how the middle class is disappearing because of because of what his greed, trying to heap onto himself, trying to gather riches for the last days. That is basically why the middle class is disappearing, why the poverty rate is being increasing and increasing, because these devils are taking everything for themselves. They are that is the book of Habakkuk, the second chapter. They are as death and cannot be satisfied. They're basically going into covetousness. They just want everything. They see that if you got it, they want it. That basically is Esau's mindset. Even though he doesn't need it, if you got it, he wants it. Even though he has far better than what you have, if you got it, he wants it. All right. So going on from verse 9 now. Proverbs 30 verse 9, and it reads, lest I be fool and deny thee and say, who is Yahweh? Or lest Salakia, or lest I be poor and steal and take the name of my power in vain. Right, and that's right, because when you get that's why the scripture said that what it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter heaven. And the apostle Taha actually broke that down. He said there's this doorway in that was in the ancient world called the eye of a needle. Where if you are carrying, or if you are going through the city in a camel, the camel had to basically crouch or bend down and squeeze his way through. That's what this precept is talking about, not an actual eye of a needle, rather that doorway that was called the eye of a needle. Okay. And also, I'm not, going into now, like I was saying, going into was how it is difficult for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven, because exactly be like this, when you are full, when you are in that your wealth, you start to deny the Most High, and you start to think, you start to get out that spirit of being puffed up, being proud. And that's why Yahweh Hashem Yahushua are not giving his men riches on this side. And in the second part, lest I be poor. That's the same reason why you hadn't afflicted us with too much poverty. Because we are still able to eat. We still have, we are still able to eat. We are still able to find a warm place to sleep at night. And various other, and also, even have enough to, enough change and enough money to do this work. To go out to the highways and byways. To buy, different supplies that we need now to push this truth. The cameras, the stands, the signs, and the things, the garments, sewing up the garments, they're getting even the that data that you use to upload the videos and things like that. That's all from Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, making sure that we have enough to do this work, we have enough to live, we have enough to praise his name. Alright, because at the end of the day, all the at the end of the day, that extravagant lifestyle that we're looking for, that all our people are looking for, that Jake is looking for. Because before I came into this thing, obviously, I wanted to live that kind of lifestyle as well. Wanted to get that, just get that bag. But all those things that we're looking for, that extravagant lifestyle, is coming in the kingdom, right? But on this side, we're living that minimalist lifestyle. We're living that lifestyle of only having the things that are, that the things that are enough for us, right? Only having just enough for the day. So So that's basic, okay. That's the end of that precept. Only have enough for the day. So let me get another precept. Because that's basically what I'll probably be doing in this lesson, just jumping from precept to precept. Because I was just thinking, all right, it's minimalism. Get the definition, go into some presets and just end the video like that. All right. And also, of course, I'm going to be adding some of my thoughts here and there, but I'm just going to let the scriptures speak most of the time. So the book of Luke 12 verse 15, and it reads, "And he said unto them, Take heed and beware of covetousness, for a man's life consisteth not in the abundance of the things which he possesseth." That's basically what he is pushing on this side. Covetousness, man. Pushing that whole of consumerism, materialism mindset, where if you don't have shit, you don't have nothing. You have to make sure you have to go to work and slave away every day just to get enough money to buy. To make sure you have stuff to you have stuff you have material possessions. Get as much material possessions as possible. Focus your entire life, your entire being around those things. Those things which you have, and if you don't have enough, you basically what you covet what your brother has. That's why you see people. That's why you see people go into they steal, they kill, they steal, they go off and do all this wickedness just to get more stuff. But that's what basically everybody is trying to do, just to get material possessions, so that they can post it online and be, you know, like and you actually you know what I'm talking about. And I don't really know how to explain it. I don't really know what to say about it. But you know what I'm talking about. How these people will be going online, just be posting all their stuff. Which of course, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with getting material. There's nothing wrong with spending the money that you have. Let me just say that, okay? Because a lot of people like to do this thing where if you work hard and you make your and you make the money, there's nothing wrong with spending it and getting things for yourself. But what should be your focus? Alright, should it be in money? Should your focus be in money? Your focus be on mammon? Should your focus be on spending and on making getting riches and spending it, or should it rather be, especially if you're an Israelite, alright, it should be on Yahweh and nothing else, okay? Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and its righteousness, and all other things shall be added unto you. And that's why we're in the state that we're in right now, because riches isn't going to profit us. Now thinking about the president that said that riches doesn't profit us in the day of evil, but basically riches isn't going to help us push this truth any better, okay? Accumulating wealth isn't going to do anything for us on this side. That's one of the big things. And I know you actually would agree when I say that. What's the point of getting wealth on this side? On this side, as wicked as it is. What's the point of having riches in a wicked kingdom? You won't be able to enjoy it. Because every time you switch on the news, you see wickedness going on. You see people in wickedness, blaspheming the name of the Most High, worshiping these idols, alright, eating abominable foods, living these, alternative lifestyles, especially this month, then, that pisses you off. It gets you, basically it boils your spirit, man, to see this wickedness go forth on the earth, alright. And that's why we are constantly pushing this word, are constantly doing this work, because we want the end to come. We want our Lord Yahweh to come as quickly as possible, and bring bring evils and judgments to this kingdom. Shalak, Rayam, Wa Shapat, or Mashapat Yam, Salakia. Shalak, Rayam, Wa Mashapat Yam. Send evils and judgments to this kingdom, man. That's what basically what we're waiting for, and why we do this thing. And because of that faith that we have in our Lord Yahweh Shai, and we know that so let me jump to another precept. So let me get another precept. Alright, let me get another precept. Because the scriptures talk about how the little that a righteous has, and that's in various precepts. The little that a righteous has is better than the abundance of the wicked. Alright, so even in our own state, in our state of having very little, and this is why our people are still the salt of the earth right now. This is why our people are still our people are still coveted after. Everybody wants what we have. That spirit that's in us, because of that. Because we are the righteous, and the little that we have is still more valuable than the abundance of the rich. The abundance of these devils. So the book of Proverbs 17, and I'll start from verse 1. Proverbs 17 verse 1, and it reads, "Better is a dry morsel and quietness therewith than an house full of sacrifices with strife." That's basically going into peace of mind. Better for you to have little and the peace of mind than for you to be, wealthy, than for you to have possessions and strife and contention every day, going into what, like I was going into again, the minimalism thing. Now, spend right now because I'm thinking of what that peace of mind. Before I came into this truth, I used to, I always thought about that. How peace of mind, having that peace of mind is far better than riches, because what because what, it's just the scripture, because what, I think there's an old saying, something about how rich people don't get a good enough sleep. They don't get a good enough sleep. I was also thinking about I think that's the book of Proverbs, where it talks about how wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and the strength of thy salvation. So, the focus is on this truth, alright? While everything else is just so. Everything else is just for the sake of pushing this truth. And that's basically the mind state that, we should be in. And basically, all praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, the mindset that I'm in as well. That focus on the truth, and everything else, just what bolster, or rather just something that will help me to push this word. And that's all that matters. The truth, and pushing this truth, and doing the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. That is the focus. Because what the scriptures say, godliness with contentment is great gain, right? Because the focus is having the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai on you, and then having just enough for the day. Having enough, being content with what you have, and having that perfect balance of just enough, just having just enough. I'm so, I've said that a lot, but I don't really trying to get that point across. That having just enough should be, it should be, is the ideal position to be at. So yeah, I'm thinking I'm just going to end it right there. But there are plenty of other places to go into, but those are some of my favorites, going into the whole matter of being of minimalism, or being a minimalist. So with that, let's give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Ba'asham Racha Kodash, Wa Abad Babal, Shalom.